What it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx from the Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow from Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
Most exciting man in boxing. Man in boxing. Land of Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellow Sports TV.
Hey, Steven, man, you really believe that stuff? Oh, man, come on. You really believe that stuff you be saying?
All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, Greenwood Stock Trading at Gmail, and the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. Alrighty then, man. Here we go. What they say? Whatever. Domino. Shout out to St. Louis, man. That was a dope song. The ghetto jam is about to slam. When that joint on one of my favorite movies, In Too Deep. Remember they was playing that shit out like at the little Thanksgiving thing. In Too Deep was a great movie. Had some good actors in there too, man. Omar Epps, L. Cool J. You know, my man's actually the real story. He requested LL Cool J play him. A lot of people didn't know that. Yep, that was his only request for the movie was LL play him. That actually took place in Boston. You know, he got a book. I also go support the book and learn about it. But yeah, Shawn Porter talking real greasy, man. Let's get right to it. I was able to turn my sound bar after many months of having it. Then you can turn it up.
Completely honest and candid with you, Dan. I had a conversation with someone. I won't tell you who it was. But they were saying you need to go get that fight with Terence. And I said, I don't want to be the first guy to lead fights who people consider to be elite. And the reason why is because the worst is more than likely going to happen to him. And then everyone's going to look at him like he's not who he is. Terence Crawford is an elite boxer. He's a great boxer. And I think that, you don't want that first showing to be against one of the best elite boxers in the world. And it just happens to be the case with this fight. So, I think that while everyone's like, all right, we finally get to see him against one of the best, they're not going to get what they're used to seeing out of Terence Crawford. I am different. You take a look at any of my fights, literally, and you'll see the combination of and the versatility that I have, and he has not been in the ring with that, and I don't think any of the other guys in the division, the elite guys that I've been in the ring with, they hadn't seen anything like me before, and they never will. I'm one of a kind, and with that being said, you say, hey, what makes you why are you the guy to beat Terence Crawford? No one else has. Well, I am rare. And when you're rare and people who aren't used to seeing what you have and can present, it's hard to adjust to on fight night, So I think that my experiences on top of my skills and everything that I have makes me the guy. I'm going to say this, and I don't think it's even going to make a difference, but he's got this rhythm about himself. And he's got, of course, a confidence about himself as well. And that's kind of like where I live. Like I live in disrupting your rhythm. I live in figuring out what makes you uncomfortable. And it's hard to adjust to on fight night, So when I look and I see the way he likes to move, and I start to not allow him to move that way and disrupt things, he's someone who he's an emotional fighter. He's gonna get uncomfortable, and it's gonna start to fester mentally and emotionally, and it's gonna show up in the fight. Glad that I'm actually fighting in Las Vegas. Moving here, we wanted to live here, train here, fight here, and we have not been able to do that, man. For this to be the big fight that it is, and for us to be doing it right here at home, it means a lot to me. Every fighter wants to be in Vegas, and even though I haven't had very many opportunities the fight here at home, I consider this for the magnitude of this fight and where it's happening it's perfect for me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I think that when I'm looking across the ring for myself, I'm seeing the next best thing to myself. To be honest with you, because you can talk about his skills, you can talk about his speed, power, his ability to adjust, his ability to box, his ability to counterpunch, his ability to understand what to do and when to do it. I mean, I'm not looking at a mirror. I'm not looking at a mirror image of myself, but at the same time, I do feel like I'm looking at the next best thing out there. I got a feeling the home crowd's going to favor Showtime Shawn Porter. I think that while people have learned Terence Crawford and have grown to know him to be a dominant fighter, I think that people have really taken to my personality, my story, and who I've become to the sport. And I think for those reasons, there's going to be more Showtime fans out there than Bud fans. You know what? I think that somehow, some way, through the 37 fights that I've had, people still overlook some things, some of the qualities that I have. I think that the avid boxing fans, they're like, man, Shawn can win this fight. Shawn does this, Shawn does that, and they got a whole list of things that I can do. But then there's a bigger group of people who are just like, well, this is a test for Terence Crawford. We're gonna see what Terence really has. And I don't take it personal, but at the same time, you gotta understand that this is more than a test for Terence Crawford. This is, his livelihood is on the line, and everything that he's about is on the line. And with that being said, it's more than the test. And I think that people, that's the question that's really going to be answered there is, I think after this fight, Shawn Porter is going to be looked at as not going to be looked at anymore as that quote unquote test for fighters or a specific fighter. I got here because of my foundation.
All right, he said enough. All right, he said some more stuff I talk about. He also said when Crawford switch hit, that he used to guys switch hit and he switched in and he was taught to rush in. And my thing is he always rushes in, but he talked real greasy, man. He basically said that he basically said in so many words like he didn't want to ruin him when he got to 147 pounds. And that's what he said. That's what he said. He said I didn't want to ruin him. Somebody said it was. I'm not gonna say it was. You should fight when it came for it. He basically said I didn't want to ruin him. And I'm thinking I'm like cool. Keep this confidence in the ring. That's all that that's all that they didn't ask. And he said, Shawn Porter says he feel bad for Terence Crawford that he's the first top guy he's fighting at 47. He said people gonna think Crawford was never that good after he whoop on him. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, this may be factual. Sometimes you can read forth bravado, sometimes you can't. I'm not gonna say what I believe, what type of bravado, what type of shit that he kicking, but at the same time, man, if you actually think about this fight, he has nothing to lose. What do he got to lose, bro? He talking about Crawford livelihood, and he not talking about his livelihood, because I guess he lost before, and I guess if Crawford lose to a top welterweight, in his mind, his career gonna be over. He's not gonna be able to fight no more or want to fight no more. My thing is, they sound very confident. I will say, Kenny sounds confident. He sounds confident. They sound very confident, and you can't overlook that. Obviously, boxing is a confidence sport. It's a sport built on confidence. But when your confidence is too high, and Crawford's a very confident fighter too, when your confidence is too high, and you start to get touched on, you start to get obliterated, you start to get whooped on, the smallest crack can shatter your confidence in the majority of fighters. The smallest crack can shatter somebody's confidence when you're too confident. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter, he said it was 10-8 round at the press conference. Most people thought Crawford exposing PBC fighters. That was the highlights press conference. Shawn lives in his own world. At some point, you got to feel that, boy. You got to sell the fight, or you got to, hype yourself up. A lot of people that talk trash, like Reggie Miller, one of the greatest trash talk. He said he didn't talk trash to get other players' head. He talked trash to get hype him up, to get him going. It was something that built his confidence up. So I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds good that they're gonna rush in when he switch, but you know, when you like Jerron Ennis, I think Marvin Hagler switch, you like Terence Crawford, guys who do switch. I mean, it becomes second nature to them. They don't switch where you can, you know, you be able to see the whole. Maybe they study them enough, but the difference, I'll tell you this, man. You know, Crawford said he loved to bang, but guess what? Crawford can be a disciplined fighter. Look no further than the Victor Postal fight. You know, he won't compromise. You know, he won't compromise excitement neither. So Shawn Porter can be expecting somebody that's gonna sit there with him and gonna sit there and improve and be emotional and improve a statement. But if you look, you know, in his career, he can be disciplined. When you watch the Klimov fight, when you watch the British Prescott fight, you know, when you watch the Ricky Burns fight, look, it took him a minute to get started in that fight. You watch some of his fights, he can be disciplined. You know, it's a lot of fights. Some of his fights that versus Amir Khan, he started fast. A lot of his fights, he can start slow. Thomas Delorme, honestly, he lost every round. Versus Thomas Delorme. And he lost every round to the knockout, but it wasn't that his intent to lose. That's the last fight I seen him lose rounds in. I don't care what the scorecard say. It was the Delorme fight. And that fight went 6 rounds. You know, arguably he lost the majority. He might have lost all them rounds. But in the 6th round, you know, he made a play to stop Thomas Delorme. He really did. He was just and Roy Jones said it the whole telecast. You know, he said Crawford is looking to set something up, and he set him up. He set him up. And that's the honest truth, man. Like, you know, we seen him give away rounds. Some from this fight, he give away rounds to make a knockout statement. You know, we seen him versus Postal and Klimov boxing. Prescott box very disciplined. We seen the Postal fight, he boxed on his toes to circle around Postal in and out when he wanted to, and still drop Postal 2 times. Somebody that was press row, most press row thought Postal was going to beat him because he just stopped him and seen Lucas Matisse. Now the Gamboa fight, we seen him focus, get hurt, and he able to come back. In that fight, man, that was a great fight. But Gamboa, you know, most people thought, like I thought Gamboa was going to win. You know? So Shawn Porter can say he's unique, but there's a lot of holes in his game. And the other fighters that he fought, when you look at Shawn Porter's resume, don't forget he really lost to Julio Diaz. People tend to forget that, and he came back and beat Julio Diaz. But when you look at his resume, you know, you can say it's no fighter like Shawn Porter. Absolutely, it's not. But on his resume, who's the counterpuncher? Who's the counterpuncher, bro? Who's the guy that's, you know, who's the boxer counterpuncher? You can say Danny Garcia. You know, Earl Spence, man, he had opportunities all the way there. So like I said before, man, Shawn Porter better worry about covering the holes up of Shawn Porter and perfecting that style. Shawn Porter should worry about that. Shawn Porter and Kenny should be worried about how to generate power, how to change aggression into offense and into defense. That's exactly what they should be worried about. Because, you know, you can come in with a game plan, but he can change it up. And the most important thing he can bring to this fight is his jab. You know, the most important thing he can bring to this fight is a jab and overhand lefts and rights and feints. And bring his fast feet. That's the key to this fight for him. It's feints and overhand lefts and rights and in and out and clinching. Anything other than that, boxing on his toes or think he's going to rush in and not get caught, he going to get caught. If Crawford is who we think he is, the counterpuncher. Uppercut, left hook, check hook, 1-2, a power jab, a flickering jab, a popping jab, spear jab. You know, Shawn Porter jump in there. He can't jump in there all night. First few rounds, Crawford might come out and prove a point. You know, and Crawford can easily outbox this guy. Let's be real. He can easily get on his toes and pick Shawn Porter apart and drown him late. But a lot of people fear about Crawford losing this fight is, you know, he said he loved to bang. Last fight on Top Rank, Teddy Atlas, said, we already knew that, but he made it official in some people's minds. But the problem is sitting there banking with him. And he banged with Julio Diaz. The difference between Julio Diaz is a better technical fighter than Shawn Porter. He may be a better puncher than Shawn Porter. He's a better technical fighter than Shawn Porter. No doubt about it. He's a more technical fighter than Shawn Porter. But Shawn is more athletic. Shawn is a little bit more, slick. He's way more slick than Julio Diaz. I mean, Felix Diaz, excuse me. Felix Diaz. He kind of ain't really had his way, but Crawford punished him. You watched that fight, Crawford punished him with 1-2. 1-2 was the shot in that left hook, whatever the lead hook was. That was a shot. But, he's shorter, compared to Shawn. Shawn is, Shawn probably really ain't 5'6" or 5'7", but most people compare them to each other, but banging in that pocket with this killer, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really, really interesting. He's very confident. Say it on right. I think the thing that's gonna surprise him, if I had to guess, I don't know no inside information. I think the strength of him is gonna surprise him. Shawn Porter is not a strong welterweight. I think he's a fading welterweight as far as the strength because he's making a weight, but he's seen as strong. You know what I'm saying? But to me, Kell Brook proved that he wasn't on that level, that strength level. And I'm gonna go out on the ledge and say this before fight week. I think the game plan is gonna be a lot different than what Shawn Porter thinks. I don't think Shawn Porter gonna get the fight that he prepared for. I think Bud is going to box him, stick and move him early on, and I think Bud is gonna attempt to close the show. But I can see a knock. Watch a Shawn Porter tape, man. I can see a knockout. Because he's very open when he moves forward. Anytime Shawn is on the back foot, he's a good fighter. Anytime Shawn moves forward, he's so open for a shot, man. And just because he's leading in with his head, it's all about technique. Keeping the chin tucked. You know what I'm saying? Keeping your hands up and touching Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? And Kenny tell him to change the game plan before the Ugas fight. I don't want to hear that excuse, but hey, let me know what you guys think, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out the Welterweight Boxing News playlist for more videos like this. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Best way to donate: Cash App CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in description. Also a great way to donate. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon button, subscribe button, all notifications, change the notifications, go live. Or drop a video. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If I didn't say that, all links there. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV.